Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Want to go ahead and respect your guys' time for being here early. So let's go ahead and call the meeting to order at 7 a.m. And Christina will read the language under public content.
In order to help assure compliance with the Brown Act and in order to make our board meetings more effective and more efficient, trustees will speak only when recognized, and trustees who speak on a topic other than the agenda item currently under consideration will be out of order. Board meeting protocols. The safety and decorum of the school board meetings are important to Stockton Unified School District and the community. SUSD promotes the public's right to free speech, and we want to make sure that all community members, parents, and students are able to participate in a safe environment. We want to ensure all community members have a seat during the board meeting. We will have a maximum number of chairs allowed per fire code, 132. We ask that members of the public do not stand along the side of the walls or block the walkway. Anyone standing up during the meeting will be asked to take a seat. If they do not comply, they will be asked to leave. Any accredited news media representative who is standing will have a press credential clearly visible. There is a podium and chair positioned in front of the first row of chairs. No one other than the person who is speaking may be at the podium except for a guardian, administrator, or translator. For safety, people may not line up behind the speaker to wait their turn. We want to give the person at the podium the time and respect they deserve. Each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes. Attendees are not allowed to enter the area past the podium where board members are sitting. No profanity or obscenity. During the meeting, if there is a disruption, the board president or designee will give a verbal warning to the person or persons causing the disruption. If the disruption continues after the verbal warning, the individual will be asked to leave or be removed from the premises for the remainder of the board meeting. After the meeting is concluded, we ask community to clear the lobby area in a respectful manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Gonna move on to item 1.2, roll call, please, taken by Christina as well.
President Angel Flores,
Present.
Vice President Kenitha Stevens,
Present.
Clerk Sophia Colon,
Present.
Trustee Donald Denaire,
Present.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Present.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Presente.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Just in time. Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and we can move on to item 2.2, which is the order of agenda, and Yvette will read the oral announcement.
Thank you, Madam President. This is the opportunity for the Board of Trustees to make any changes to the order of agenda. Otherwise, the order of agenda will be as published. Back to you.
I'd like to suggest that we move up the human resources section to after the oral suggestions. I apologize. I have to be at work by 8:30, so I can't stay very long. And if the meeting runs long, I won't be able to stay. So that's why.
Yeah, everybody okay with that?
Yeah, second.
Okay. Do we need to take a roll call vote on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any abstentions? Any nays? Passes unanimously. Okay, moving on to item 3.1, oral suggestions regarding open session agenda items. Yvette, do we have any cards?
Yes, Madam President. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board. The board shall limit the total time for public input on each item to 20 minutes, and we have 6 comment cards. The first comment card comes from Miss Frances Rocha.
Hi, I'm Luis Anchinavu. Good morning. My name is Frances Rocha, and I am the cultural coordinator for Native Core. And so I'm here this morning because I wanted to.
Can you just your microphone close to your mouth?
Okay.
So that way we can hear you.
Is
Thank
that
you.
better? Do you want me to
Thank
start
you.
again?
You have to speak directly into the microphone.
Oh, okay, do you want me to start again? Okay. Luis Anchinavu, good morning. My name is Frances Rocha, and I am the cultural coordinator for Native Core. I wanted to be here today to ask you not to do away with Destiny Rivas' position. She does so much for our Native community. She has raised the graduation ratio 91.4 for our Native youth here in Stockton. People feel safe, our youth feel safe to come. She's opened doors for our community to have our youth come to Edison. We go to the cafeteria every Monday from 4:30 to 6:30, and we have jamming and dancing there for our youth. We wouldn't be able to do that without Destiny there. These kids look forward to it. Their families come. We have over 35 people that come there every single Monday. And so if you did away with her position, we wouldn't be there. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing. And so I wish that you guys would just look and see everything that she's done for our community. You know, she sits on many boards. She helps out with, during Christmas time, she was giving toys to the homeless. You know, she does so much for our Native communities, and not just the Native community, just every community. You know, and so I wish that, and my hope is that you guys see that and keep her position there at Edison, because it's important for our Native community. Thank you.
The next comment comes from Ms. Xochitl Paredes and Susan Maiz.
Good morning, board members or Stockton Unified School District. I'm going to read a letter here regarding Native American Indian Center Coordinator position. Dear Stockton Unified School District trustees, as members of the Legislative Native American Caucus, we write to you respectfully asking that the Stockton Unified School District, SUSD, reinstates the Native American Indian Center Coordinator position to its entirety and rehires Destiny Rivas to fill the position. SUSD's Native American Indian Center helps empower and support 12,000 local students who have faced historical underrepresentation with our communities. These services have even more vital to their success since COVID to help integrate them back into the classroom. Destiny has been a vital part of the Native American Center program growth for nearly 15 years. And was recently assigned to the coordinator position this last year. She has played an instrumental role with securing grants and services and strengthening the program resources by expanding outreach and enriching local engagements throughout the community. The decision to cut the coordinator's position for the Native American Indian Center has raised many concerns throughout our community. My office has received an overwhelming amount of calls from constituents who worry over lost resources and support that has been vital to their success. For the betterment of the Native American student population, I urge your support to maintain the funding from this critical position. This is sincerely signed by Carlos Villapuda, Assemblyman, 13th District, and Assemblyman James Ramos, Chair, Legislative Native American Center Caucus. As you heard, my name is Susan Maiz. I've known Destiny for some time. She's a great gal. She, like it was said prior, she helps everybody, not just the Native Community Center. And it would be a shame. It would be just a shame to lose the center. What are you going to do with it? Just push it under the seat, under the rug, and file it away? Just like all of us have our heritage, we need to stand up and keep the Native American Center open. Thank you.
The next comment is from Mr. Edward Orozco.
I just want to clarify some information. We're not getting rid of the Native American Center. So if that's the information that's been sent out, that's not correct information.
Hello, my name is Edward Roscoe. I'll be kind of short. I just want to say that I actually worked with Destiny before. I've seen the work that she does. She's the perfect person for this position. If you guys do away with it, it's gonna feel like you guys are getting rid of this Native American Center. I know a lot of people who actually use the resources that the Native American Center has provided, and it's really changed their lives. Also, it would also feel like if we do go away with the Native American Center, I would feel like they're facing discrimination, and I think they faced enough of that in their lives. So that's all I really have to say. I hope you guys really reconsider this and bring Destiny back. Thank you.
Miss Alyssa Tapia.
Good morning. My name is Alyssa Tapia. And today I'll be talking about Destiny Rivas' position. The coordinator for the Native Center has been very productive in bringing together Native American families for gatherings, for celebrations, to share cultures, knowledge, for gatherings, to share traditions, and it's a very necessary position. Growing up, going to school, I wasn't very open to my Native American culture. It was very hard for me to want to be a part of the Native American culture because growing up, being a Native American, you get made fun of because of powwows and and because of our tradition, because it's not normal to people. Growing up, it was very hard for me to be proud of and to be a proud Native American. And being connected with Destiny when I was a senior in high school has brought me a long way. I was able to learn more about my tradition, get to know more people that know my culture, and learn more of my native culture. It was really hard because I wasn't proud of it. It was very embarrassing, and it hurts my heart to think that if we don't have somebody there at the school to help us navigate around our native culture, that more people are going to be urbanized and they're not going to know about the powwows. Growing up, I only knew of the University of Pacific powwow. That's the only powwow I knew of. And I know Frances, she brings her kids to powwows, and she kept that in her culture. She tries to keep that in her culture because schools don't teach that. Schools don't tell you about this part of culture. They're open talked about every majority of other different cultures other than Native Americans, and it's hard, especially growing up and wanting to know more about your people. Thank you.
Miss Jackie Montanez.
Good morning. My name is Jackie Montanez. I'm a parent. I kind of had how I was going to say it, but I got a little sidetracked with listening to everybody talk. You did say that the Native American Center is not being taken down or is not being, and we understand that. But if we don't have somebody there to help our children, and we don't have somebody there to teach, to be there to get, these people to come from out of state, to come from, other parts of California to teach our kids, then you are closing it down. Because how are our kids going to learn? How are our kids gonna know where they come from? You know, some of us, you know, my family was brought here to California, you know, when my great grandfather was, you know, 19. And I don't know the only culture that I know is the natives here in California. And that still gives me and my kids something to be proud of. It gives a lot of us something to be proud of. And you guys got rid of all these positions and now you're picking and choosing the ones that you think are important. And I just want to know why you think that this position is not important. We've always been left in the dust. We've always been, nobody's worried about them, you know, whatever. When we try to put things on the agenda, when we try to get things on the agenda for you guys to approve or, you know, whatever, it's always very last minute. And it's hard to have a program when you're trying to get people to come and talk to our kids and you're trying to get to take our kids on field trips or to see different things, and we can't do it to the very last minute. You can't have a schedule around the very last minute. That's not okay. And it's again, it's throwing us under the rug. It's very eraser. It's very it's racist. It's just discrimination. It's not okay because you're not doing this to other groups. And we see that you're not doing this to other groups. You know, you guys had the whole superintendent search and we were not a part of it at all. And it's not it's just, you know, it just happened. It just happened. No, it didn't just happen because you guys made sure you got rid of the position. So you guys didn't forget about us. You know, Destiny helps not only our Native American students. Look at all the donations she does for the football, for the basketball, for all these different, for cheerleading, for band, and it's not just at Edison where she works, it's the whole school district. Like, she is somebody who's very important in this community. Thank you.
The next comment is from Miss Whitney Mine.
Coatze. Name is Whitney. My tribe is Acoma Pueblo. Good morning. I'm the community relations representative for Native Core. We are a Native American nonprofit organization here in Stockton. We work with the community on certain levels of course, Narcan distribution, training, harm reduction, and we have a youth program from Elevate Youth California. We partnered with Destiny and the Native American Center for a while now on multiple events, multiple things she's put on in the community. Before I get into any of that, I like to just address a few different concerns in our community, usually of what happens. So I'm going to name off a few, just to name a few of the things that my community does struggle with. We have historical trauma, violence, including high levels of gang violence, domestic violence, and sexual assault, poverty, high levels of unemployment, discrimination, racism, lack of health insurance, and low levels of attained education. With that said, our young people need a voice. They need a person, a face. I'm not sure if many know our cultural practices, but we're all about community. We're all about people, point of contact, mentorship. We are all relatives. We are all in this together, and having the point of contact. So maybe you're not doing away with the center or in a whole. The importance of having a mentor, a strong woman to represent us, to have a voice. We believe Destiny has done that. She's been that for our community. The lack of representation, the underfunding of a lot of our programs, and I speak for that because I work for the program. It's been hard to maintain a place of work, or maintain a place of where we can elevate the voices of our community. And we believe Destiny does that. For a lot of our young people in our program, they have reconnected with culture. Urbanized natives in this area need culture. It's a big form of harm reduction for us, learning our tribes, where we come from, our roots. It is huge with our identity, who we are, where we come from. It gives us some type of representation for ourselves, confidence. It reduces harm and drug use, alcohol use, because traditionally we don't do any of that. Just as a little background for us. So the importance of Destiny, having the face, she has helped multiple, our young people rave about Destiny, the reconnecting with drumming, reconnecting with dancing. We need it here, and we need the face. We need the extra support. We need the extra voice. So respectfully, just please consider the importance and the impact that Destiny has made. And I appreciate your guys' time this morning.
Miss Laura Chance.
Good morning, board members. My name is Laura Chance. My clan is Usti Waya from the Cherokee Nation. I have been serving at SUSD for 6 years. When I started at Edison High, I met Destiny, and she was one of the first people to connect me to my community and give me resources to my students for great opportunities. Over the last 6 years, I have seen her second in charge of the center, and that was always surprising. She has been basically running this center for years without the title of director. Destiny is an intricate part to our community, and she should be not only the coordinator, she should be reinstated to the director position. I try not to be involved with the SUSD board politics. I have been attending meetings for over 6 years and have seen a lot of the shenanigans, but this time I have to speak up. I'm not sure why she's being targeted. I'm not sure why she has to go, but I truly ask from the bottom of my heart, if there's any personal bias, if there's any personal reasons or drama, that we take that outside of her professionalism and evaluate her and say, is she the right person for the job? And if she is, that we reinstate her. Also, something to consider is that she is Native. Putting someone as the director position over the last 6 years who has no Native affiliation is truly disrespectful. Thank you so much for your time.
Jessica.
Good morning, board members. I also too, I met Destiny before I became an educator. So I met her outside in the community at a community event. So I just want to echo, my speech will be short. I just want to echo what everybody else already said. It would be a shame to get rid of her. Why is she being targeted? There's funding for all these different programs, all these different things, but why get rid of Native American Center? Why? That's just my question. I'm not the type that get involved into politics either, but again, we're all here to support her, and I hope you guys really consider not getting rid of her. She's such an asset to the community and at the schools. And as a person who's an educator, we need that voice. The students need to see the people in the classroom that represents them and outside the classroom as well. Thank you.
Mr. Alfonso.
My name's Alfonso Grajava. So I'm not gonna lie, I barely just woke up. But I knew that someone important to the community, someone that I work side by side with in the community for other things. I didn't even know she was a director of anything. I just knew that she was always helping the Native community. She was always there when people needed her. I know this is y'all are on a board that has to do with children. So I don't know if any of y'all are Native, but I know right now in this time and place in our country and everything, sometimes we look at stuff and go, oh, well, they're not Black or they're not white, but I'm white, so I can't be empathetic towards them. So I'm not Native. I know if this meeting was when school was out, there'd be a bunch of kids in here that would want to speak on behalf of what Destiny does for them, for themselves. I'm not in any of y'all position to where you have the power to keep her in her position to help the children, which is why I think y'all are there to help the kids. So none of y'all are native. I don't know if you are or you're not, but just think about the kids. So there you go. So just think about the children, because this decision is going to affect kids, and that's why y'all were voted in. So whether you like Destiny or not, you can look at her track record of what she's done for the community. That's facts. You can't take that away. That's a history of work. So if y'all could sleep at night with whatever decision you make, cool. If that's taking her out of the position that's directly helping children, which is why you were there, cool. I'm glad that I'm not in your position, because if I had to keep Destiny with the Native community, I'm so sorry, I'm so tired right now. I would probably say, hey, you can have my job just so you're there for the kids. So and just so much stuff happens to Native people in general. And here we are again, just repeating history. And you said it's not the center that's being taken away, it's a position. So you look at a history again, taking out Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. Everyone always wants to take away the head, the person that's the spirit, and we're doing it again. So now, in a way, if y'all get rid of Destiny's position, you're going to be a part of an assassination of getting rid of someone that's there for the community. So if y'all could live with that, cool. I'm not in your position. So y'all got to sleep at night. And that's it. Thank you.
Miss Mary Mesa.
Hello, my name is Mary Jane Mesa, and I would just like to thank Destiny for all that she has done for me. I am currently a student at UOP, and I got a Fulbright scholarship thanks to Destiny. Throughout my childhood, I've always attended the Native American Indian Center, and Destiny has always helped me connect to my culture and heritage. Without her, I truly believe that I would not have been a part of my culture and heritage the way I am today. She always taught me how to make crafts, and she taught me more culture and history than anything and any person in my school could have. None of those resources were available in my schools when I was little. So I would really like to thank Destiny for all she has done for me and all she has connected me with within my community. I would please like you guys to reconsider keeping Destiny, because I do have a little brother and little cousins that are Native American, and I really would want them to have the same opportunities I have had. So if you guys could please reconsider keeping Destiny, it would really mean a lot to me. Thank you.
Mr. Joseph Mesa Senior.
Good morning. My name is Joseph Mesa Senior. Like you guys said, you're getting rid of the position. So I would like to speak, like my daughter said, she got a Fulbright scholarship thanks to Miss Destiny. So I'd like to thank her for that. And like to throw a couple names out there. She's more important because when I was growing up, I had Miss Caroline Wilson, Dale Fleming. I know you guys are familiar with those names. I would put her in the same class as them. So I'd please like you not to get rid of her position. I would really like to thank her. Like I said, when I was growing up, we had field trips all the time. And I know you guys are tight with funding. I would really like to know where the hell the money's going. I'm trying to keep it as PG as I can. I know there's people out there embezzling money. So I want to know what's going on with that. And as far as getting rid of her position, I think that's a bad idea for the community and for the schools. I don't see any other way around it of getting rid of her. You got to keep her. That's all I got to say. You got to keep her. Thank you.
Mr. Christopher Torres.
Morning, my name is Mr. Torres, and I've come to speak in support of Destiny Rivas before. And so I just, I've known Destiny for just about as long as I've been a teacher. And just to reiterate everything that, everyone in here has already said, which is just a small part of the community that Destiny has impacted. She has impacted so many others that are not here and not able to make it today, and done so much and continues to do so much, and is always doing so much for not just the center, but and our students, but also for the community of Stockton and beyond. And so she is a very important leader. And I think I understand that you're saying that you're not going to be shutting down the Native American Indian Center. I understand that. But like I said, she is an important leader, and having Destiny in that leadership position, having a strong Native woman, as a role model for our students, our community, is important. And by getting rid of this, not only getting rid of the position, but as an effect, getting rid of Destiny is going to be harmful for our community. And I hope that you understand that, and are able to see the impact that she has had on our community and our students. You've already heard from one of them. And so I urge you to please reconsider the decision to take Destiny Rivas out of this position, because she is the most qualified person for this position. I don't see anyone else doing the things that she is doing for our students already. And as I said, continues to do for our students. Thank you.
Madam President, that concludes public comment for 3.1.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to item 6.1, the adoption of the resolution number 22-99, the waiver request and the variable term waiver administrative services credential. Can I get a motion?
I motion.
Can I get a second? I'll second. Can I get a roll call vote, please? Or discussion?
Can I have a minute? Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted, maybe I'm the wrong one, but I just wanted to appoint and to be clear that before Trustee Flores always complained about that we hiring people without having the credentials.
Is that related to the item?
Yes,
Are you
it is.
speaking? Okay, let's not make any personal references. Let's just go
Is
ahead and
that
speak to
personal?
the item. Thank you.
Is that personal? So she always complains before that we
Again,
hiring
point of order. Please
person
speak to
without-
the
without
item.
credentials. So for me, this is the same thing that she's doing right now. Thank you.
Can I speak also, President Flores?
As long as it's to the item, Mr. Zulueta. We don't have time.
So what I would say is, just after hearing everyone that came here, I just want to say thank you, first of all, and this is to the item. So I know you're going to try to cut me off. That's fine.
That's not to the
but
waiver,
I just wanted to say
sir.
thank you. And I think that when we do something like this waiver, and kind of the way that some of the public comments were around this waiver at the last meeting.
It wasn't about the
well,
waiver.
It would actually, once again.
It's about
please don't-
another agenda item, sir.
Please don't cut me off. What I'm saying is that when we bring things like this waiver forward and we know that the person doesn't have the credential yet, but then we are, cutting other people in other places, and this job was just created, like that's money that we could look at different ways. And so, when I'm hearing the concerns from, not only our Native community, but I'm a member of this Native community. And I'm hearing the way that, at this point, I don't know if we've noticed, or they've noticed, but the item for Destiny had already been decided. And so, we're here today and you guys are speaking and they're not telling you that it's already been decided. And the voting record from the last meeting is there for you to check. And so, I apologize that we're not being upfront with you, as we often are. And, with this waiver request, I've continuously said, I don't appreciate it because, our former president of the teachers union came to us when it was first brought and said, thank you, because I endorsed all of you to be on this board. And now I'm going to have this opportunity that I didn't think it was appropriate. And so I thought I should bring that forward. Thank you.
I want to just go ahead and correct that information. That's very sad that our colleague on the board would say something like that. The unfortunate truth is these positions were funded under incorrect funding and the district must now pay those funding back. And that's why everybody on the list who was paid under that funding, there was nobody targeting, there was nobody being removed from that list. Everybody who was paid with the ESSER
I didn't say
funding.
anyone was targeted. And I did not mention ESSER funding.
I allowed you to
Just a
speak.
point-
Please, point of order, Mike.
Point of order.
His mic.
Vigo, point of order.
Okay.
You can
So,
hear me, but you're
mute
still
his
out of order.
mic immediately, please. Thank you. So, and trustee Mendez, thank you. Everybody who was on that ESSER funding list is being removed.
Can we have a
and
point of order? This isn't about the
He's
agenda item.
still on. Thank you.
We are on item 6.1.
Right, so let's not deviate from what we are supposed to be speaking on. So we're gonna stick to item 6.1. We will discuss and respond to that item when we get there. Let's stay on order of the agenda.
Not
So just
budget.
call the order for discussion, roll call vote, please.
Attorney,
Roll call
we are
vote.
in live TV.
President.
Attorney, we need you guidance. You need to react. Thank you.
We are on item 6.1, and I understand that the president requested discussion and it's continuing.
Call discussion. Roll call vote, please.
President Angel Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kanita
And you guys
Stevens.
have my support. you know,
So we
already.
won't just, point of order, we will not disrupt today's meeting. We heard you, we're clear, we're moving on with the agenda. When we get there, we will 100% address it.
Vice President Kanita
Record.
Stevens.
So if there's another outburst, we will have you removed.
Really?
Yes, we will.
Oh, Lord.
Roll call vote. Continue, please.
Vice President Kanita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Sophia Colon.
Yes.
Trustee Donald Nair.
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez.
No.
Trustee Alicia Rico.
No. And because this is
Trustee
against,
Raymond Zulueta.
you guys know.
Absent.
He's present.
He's not on the dais. He's not voting.
Motion passes 4-2 with one abstention. I'm sorry, one absence, Raymond Zulueta.
Moving on to item 6.2. Adoption of resolution number 22-101 regarding certificated reduction in force of the non-reemployment of certificated employees for the 2023-2024 school year. Can I get a motion? Motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Discussion?
What item we are in?
No discussion?
So we said 6.2. You can't hear us. Please don't disrupt the meeting. Then you have incorrect information. I said 6.2 to my colleague to the left.
No discussion. Roll call vote, please.
President Angel Ann Flores.
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens?
Yes.
Clerk Sophia Cologne?
Yes.
Trustee Donald Nair?
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez?
No.
Trustee Alicia Rico?
No.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta?
No.
Motion passes 4-3.
Moving on to item 6.3, adoption of resolution number 22-100 regarding classified reduction in force in the matter of non-employment, reemployment of classified positions. Can I get a motion?
I motion.
Can I get a second?
I just wanted to ask, could we make a motion within pulling a person?
So that's what we're doing. Yeah. It's already in the motion. Yeah.
Can we have our conversations on the mic, please, for the record?
Good question. Go ahead, Kenita.
Yeah, so I was wanted to make the motion with a recommendation to pull Destiny Rivas' position so that she returns back to her permanent position. So I wanted to make it clear, could I make that a motion?
But I'm clarifying that, I was gonna say that in this conversation is, which is we're supposed to be talking about, she is not leaving the center. She's just going to be returning back to her old position. So she will be returning back to the Native American Indian coordinator. So she's not going anywhere. You still have the center. There's nothing like that. But by law, we have to fix the way that position that she currently has is funded. We have to.
Microphone.
So
I will support Kenita Stevens as second her.
point of order.
She was clarifying, trustee Mendez.
I second if you really want.
Can you want to go ahead and speak, Claudia?
I just want to clarify what happens in this process. Ms. Destiny Rivas is not being laid off. She is going to be bumping into a previously held position. The position that is being eliminated is a coordinator position. So that's what is happening.
Okay.
And that's happening to everybody across the board. There are other people who are in other positions that are also being bumped back down to their positions as well. Nobody is being targeted.
So can I?
There's another disruption. Can we remove the disruption, please?
You know what? You
No,
allow
don't do
people
that.
to do all kinds of stuff.
Do that.
You don't do that.
Point of order, point of order.
I just, point of order, this is,
Kenita, take over.
this is another representation of discrimination against
Yeah.
this
Ladies
group.
and
This is
gentlemen.
not appropriate.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow the meeting to continue orderly.
Okay, I just wanted to add, really polite.
Call for discussion, please. Roll call vote.
I had a mic.
Roll call vote. I
So-
call for
When,
discussion.
when Flores friends comes and attacking us during those meetings,
She
never knew no one. Thank you.
Can you guys mute their mic and call for roll call vote? I call for discussion. Thank you.
You can't make a motion for discussion by yourself.
Clarify the motion.
As I understand it, trustee Donaire made a motion. It was not seconded. Then
Yeah, it
trustee
was.
Stevens made a motion to remove one position, and that was seconded. So there, and discussion was ensuing before the second by trustee Mendez, but nevertheless, discussion was ensuing. So I would recommend discussion continue under the president's leadership of this meeting. And when the discussion is concluded, a vote may be had. And of course, anyone may seek to have the person making that motion may suggest an amendment to the motion if appropriate, and that would proceed in order. But currently, it's just discussion under item 6.3. And trustee Stevens did make a motion, and that was seconded by trustee Mendez.
So just to clarify, the motion on the floor right now that we're being called to vote on is to remove Destiny and remove the coordinator position off of the list. Is that
No,
right?
So her current position is, can you explain
guess I
again,
know-
Claudia?
I know,
Yes, that's the
but what
motion.
I'm trying to clarify is what the motion is.
The motion, as I understood it by trustee Stevens, was to take that coordinator position off of the list And that was seconded and discussion was proceeding. Ms. Moreno was describing
What
the
the current,
situation
yes.
and board members were also discussing, and discussion is appropriate at this time. And of course, public comment has ended, so the public should not be participating during this discussion. Staff has been directed to comment or has been asked to comment, and Ms. Moreno was commenting, I know.
Go ahead, Claudia.
So just as, I just want to clarify what the resolution in front of you is. The resolution is based on, and then there's different parts to the resolution. It was a resolution that there were some positions that were removed from the list because we had resignations, et cetera. So those people are, the positions do not need to go through that process. Then there is a part of the resolution that speaks to one individual who had a hearing, and we had to either accept or not accept the recommended portion of that. You can choose to accept the recommendation from the hearing officer or not. If what we propose is that you do, there's another process for that. And then the next piece of that is basically just saying the positions that would be because of the funding situation will be removed in those, but those individuals are all have a place to land. There's only 3 people that are being laid off because those people who do not have a previously held position. So there's different parts in the resolution. I just wanted to clarify what those parts in the resolution are. So those positions are what they are. If you choose to remove a layoff from those positions that are listed here, that's, I think, what is in question now. Just wanted to clarify.
But I also want to clarify, she's not losing her position with the district. She's still staying with the Native American Center. Yes, so she's not being gone. The center's not losing her. She's still there.
Okay, so then can I clarify the motion? We would like Destiny to remain in her current position as Native American Coordinator.
And I will second that. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the vote. Yeah, so yeah, we will have to fix this one. But yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Stevens.
Thank you, Mrs. Stevens. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
So Joanne, you'll be able to fix the funding for that? Okay.
Thank you, Joanne.
Roll call vote, please.
Before that, can I have a comment too, please? I just think it's funny that we can pick and choose the names off of here. And so there's a bunch of other people on this list that are integral to the district that if we were given the opportunity, they could go into the LCAP and they could be supported. And I'm not going to say what they think because they think I'm going to go, well, Motec belongs here. But I'm looking at other positions that have specifically supported our staff, especially the social and emotional awareness coordinator. And in this time with all of the different mental health things that are going on, I think it's important that that position be reconsidered as well. And so I would like to make a motion to keep that position as well, because I know that our staff, not just our students, but our staff have really benefited from the gentleman that's working in that position. And I'm sure Nurse Tara and others, you know, would be able to attest to that work as well. And like I said, it's nothing against the Native community. I appreciate that you all showed up, but in you showing up, what you showed is that maybe we're not considering things the most appropriate way. And maybe we're not making all the decisions that are best in the district for us. Maybe we are listening to some of these talking heads. And it just so happens that today there's 20 of you and not another group. And so thank you again for showing up, and I appreciate you.
So just as we close, we need to be clear not to be inflammatory
Point of
regarding
order, I made
positions.
a motion.
We're in
There was no
discussion.
second, and there's already another motion.
Sir, there's a second there.
It's not appropriate while the motion that was already
If-
moved and seconded and was under
Sir,
discussion.
if she's okay with amending her motion, that would be appropriate. Please don't lead us falsely.
I didn't understand that you were requesting.
I made a second motion. Would you like me to repeat it, sir?
I understood the motion. You may request of the original mover to amend her motion, and if she accepts your suggestion, she may agree to amend her motion, but that wasn't the motion that was made. You made a separate motion and you're entitled to make it after
We're gonna pick and choose. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
and you're entitled to make another motion in order, but currently trustee Stevens' motion, which was seconded and was under discussion, I believe discussion was either just concluding, and then the next step would be a roll call vote on trustee Stevens's motion.
So I won't be amending my emotion. You want to go into roll call?
Roll call vote, please.
President Angel Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Sophia Colon,
Yes.
trustee Donald Denaire,
Yes.
trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
trustee Alicia Rico.
I'm gonna be clear in this
Roll call
vote.
vote, trustee Rico, point of order.
What I'm doing wrong.
Vote.
I'm
A
gonna
yes
give
or
my
no?
vote after what I'm saying.
So yes or
Can
no?
I do that?
Yes or no?
Discussion was concluded, and it's time for the vote right now.
Okay, I remember in the past, Flores always says, I'm going vote because of this. I'm going vote yes
Do
because
you
of
vote
that.
yes or no?
So why can't I do that right now?
It's time for the vote right now.
Okay, thank you. So Destiny, you know, you have my support, but there is more people in this list.
This is a
that we needed.
violation. Just let the minutes
I
reflect
really
that.
need it.
Trustee Rico is not
So I'm
following
gonna
the point
stand
of
on this
order.
vote.
Thank you.
Yes.
I,
Her vote is abstain.
I'm in the same place. I'm glad this is passing and I'm going to abstain.
Okay, moving on to item 6.4, please. Moving on to item six
I
point
would
four.
like to change my vote. I have to echo my colleagues because there's more people here, but Destiny knows and I support her, so I changed my vote to no.
the vote hadn't yet been recited, so trustee Mendez is entitled to change her vote, but the vote conclusion should now be recited because the voting is concluded.
So Christina, the vote is 4 yes, 1 no, and 2 abstentions.
Yes, ma'am.
Moving on to item 6.4, approval of a limited scope legal service
That vote
agreement.
passed because they didn't say
with-
it passed.
Trustee Zulueta, point of order.
I'm sorry, Claudia Moreno has something to say.
Yes, you need to continue because you removed one person, but I just want to know you
They,
are,
the,
approved?
the result of the vote was to approve the resolution as
Okay.
proposed,
that's it.
except to take the Native American coordinator position off of the list. So that is not included on the list. Otherwise, the resolution has been approved as written.
And I hope you guys stay.
Okay,
as long
moving
as you
on to
can.
item 6.4, approval of a limited scope legal service agreement with Levenfield Winter LLP to conduct a workplace investigation. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Discussion?
Have a blessed day.
Madam President, who motioned in second?
Trustee Rico, second by trustee Zulueta.
Discussion?
So who's speaking on this particular item? Ms. Moreno, is that you?
Yes,
So this one is only for, what are they providing? Only for
this is the
specific?
investigation following up the
Oh,
SLP.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call vote?
President Angel Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Sophia Colon,
Yes.
trustee Donald Denaire,
Yes.
trustee Cecilia Mendez,
No.
trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1.
Okay, we're gonna move back up to item 4.1. Approval of the superintendent search stakeholder interview panel list for superintendent interviews. Can I get a motion?
Motion Stevens?
Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Donaire. Discussion?
No, we're just the parent name from the Native American Center, but I'll reach back out to Destiny and today to get that name. It wasn't emailed over, but I'll get it.
So Destiny's Rivas,
we went back?
that is gonna be included?
No, so what we did was on this particular list, we included all of the parent advisory committees. The Native American Center has a parent advisory committee. So we just need the name. They're number 22 on the list.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We are on 4.1.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
President Angela.
Okay, did you ask for?
Yes. Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Sophia Colon.
Yes.
Trustee Donald Daener.
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez. Trustee Cecilia Mendez.
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico.
No, and I didn't have the opportunity to have a discussion. So all those people who are in there is the most of them are.
You know what?
Or no?
You know
Point
what?
of order.
Please change my vote. Change my vote now. Thank you.
Point
I'm
of
voting no.
order.
Change my vote. Cecilia Mendez is voting no.
Okay, got
This
you
is
covered.
getting ridiculous. Ahora.
Trustee Alicia Rico.
You not hear my vote? I say no, because I didn't have the opportunity to have a discussion.
Okay, no. her
And
vote's
I
no.
might be-
Moving on to item 4.2.
On this one, and I was like,
Excuse me, the roll call vote, I don't think was completed. I don't believe trustee Zulueta was requested to register his vote.
We move on, please, and quit
Trustee
wasting our
Zulueta.
time.
4.1.
My vote's no.
Motion passes 4-3.
All right, moving on to item 4.2, approval of agreement to furnish professional legal services between the Stockton Unified School District and the California School Boards Association, CSBA Legal Services for the 22-23 school year.
I'll motion to approve this one.
I second.
So Doug, I believe there was a comment on this one. Did you want to go ahead and elaborate on this one?
Thank you. The document in the agenda packet, there are a couple of documents from CSBA's website describing their services. I do want to say that the CSBA is the California School Boards Association. It's a very well-respected association that this school board and other school boards up and down the state rely on justifiably for many fine services. And I personally and our firm have great respect for CSBA. And there are two items that are being offered in a document that's entitled Subscription Service and Attorney-Client Fee Agreement. This is subscription service is a very low cost and effective service, as I understand it, that provides the school district access to legal publications, webcasts, briefs, a searchable database, enormous resources of documents, and it is it's perfectly fine and consistent with all board policy and bylaw that I understand for those subscription services to be registered. And I noticed that the agenda item pointed out that the cost for the period under consideration is extremely low, approximately $400 for that registration for the subscription services. The other part of this document would be a legal services agreement. And pursuant to board bylaw 9124, the board is this, the district, I should say, is entitled to, I just want to read from the bylaw, to contract for temporary specialized legal services without initiating a request for proposals, a formal RFP. If the majority of the board determines that there are demands for a particular issue for temporary specialized services. Pursuant to the recommendation and findings of the grand jury in the 2020-2021 report, if instead, legal services were being sought of a general ongoing nature, an RFP procedure should be utilized. That was the finding that was delivered to the school district in that report. As I understand it, CSBA is currently serving as an extraordinary assistance to the board and to the school district in helping the district in compliance with ensuring corrective actions with regard to the FCMAT extraordinary audit pursuant to the direction of the county superintendent and the California Department of Education. And this includes CSBA and its attorneys and staff providing training, providing review of policies under consideration that have been you've been directed to review and revise and update those policies. And CSBA is providing that policy review and training in compliance with that direction from the outside. And that seems extraordinarily appropriate, and certainly temporary specialized legal services that would be appropriate. It would be my thought that should an agreement be to the pleasure of the majority of the board, that it would be for such temporary specialized legal services. The board may have other temporary specialized legal services that it sees CSBA as the appropriate body to provide for you, and that's also perfectly appropriate. I would recommend that the board if it were to approve an attorney-client fee agreement with CSBA, that they be specific as to which temporary specialized legal services they are engaging CSBA to provide. And forgive me for being so long-winded. It's an occupational hazard. Thank you.
I know that because there's CSBA and it's in our language somewhere, I'm sure I've seen it, that we're able to not have to go through an RFP process if there is a provider who is on a list already approved through CSBA. And since they are CSBA, would they be considered one of their own approved legal services already?
I'm just not aware of such a list, so I'm sorry, I'm unable to respond to that.
Do you guys have that process?
Is it for this item? It's only 423 when it go through RPF.
Exactly, but he's also commenting that if we want to go for like the other services that second services that they offer, that we would have to go through an RFP process. That one is $2,500 a year.
That one will go through RPF.
That doesn't have to go through an RFP, so we don't have to go through an RFP process for this.
No.
I understand, Ms. Juarez, the subscription services require no RFP, and I agree, yeah. For the subscription services, that's a separate thing.
That's
Yeah.
for the second one, that's the 2,500 is for the second. I don't know if it's a subscription or if it's a agreement with them. I think it's an agreement with them for a whole year after that.
It's an agreement with them for what they describe in this document as a subscription service. And the client's subscription includes access to and use of CSBA legal services, secured website database, and it goes on. I won't read the whole thing, but it's extremely valuable information and service provided by CSBA, and a reasonable cost, as I understand Ms. Juarez is confirming, and does not require an RFP. That doesn't. The piece I was talking about is the actual providing legal advice to you as needed, which currently is being undertaken for temporary specialized purposes for the training and policy review and so forth. And for any temporary specialized legal services from CSBA, apart from the subscription services, that's perfectly fine. I would just recommend that the board identify specifically under that category, which if there is more than.
So I'm asking that we receive the complete services from CSBA for a whole year, for the rest of the year for the agreement. and that we utilize their services when it comes to our CSB, our governance and our questions and when we have bylaws and Brown Act violations and the process on how to continue with that. Because our lawyers here, F3, are being overwhelmed with a lot of work. And there are some times where they're not familiar with answering our questions quick enough. And so we're getting secondhand information. And I just rather prefer to go straight to the source of CSBA Legal Services, since they are the professionals in the way that we govern. Okay. So any other discussion?
Yeah, I want to say.
Wait, I'm sorry.
wanna
I just
my
have to
discussion.
say that I have to leave right now. I apologize. Thank you, everyone.
I want to say something. Every time I talk to the attorney, he at least will text me or guide me in a right way, then it's the best thing he can right now. I just want to say that right now. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I had a question. So I'm just gonna ask pretty clear. So this is just for the subscription service. What we're hearing President Flores talk about is something separately, and that wouldn't be something that we would motion and approve right now, right? Because we would need a contract and all that other stuff for additional services, but this is just for the subscription is what I understand. Mr. Freifeld?
My recommendation would be to take them in two parts.
Okay.
Because there are two separate things that CSBA offers. And
So-
the subscription services that Ms. Juarez described and that I've described and that are described in page 1 of this document. There's no question, no RFP or anything like that is necessary for that.
Oh, no, I'm just asking, so if we approve this one, are we approving two contracts? Because I'd appreciate if we bring back those extended services, bring it back on another agenda item so we could see the whole contract and all the things like you're talking about, because that wouldn't appear to be here. So this would just be the subscription service, right?
Well, trustee Zulueta, the document I'm looking at, which I think is part of the board agenda item, if you turn to page 2 of 7 and look at Roman numeral 2, it's a separate thing from the subscription services and it's entitled legal services. And so I think it should be probably taken in two pieces, the subscription service.
So could we bring one of those back then? Because now we're talking about two contracts and in the item, it's just talking about the general fund, the subscription. So I'm like, could we bring that other piece back and approve this first piece if possible?
I think to be more clear. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna motion to go ahead and pull this item and bring it back to the next agenda,
Wait,
our next meeting agenda.
We can keep the subscription part, just
We need the subscription.
bring the other part back about the additional legal services so that we can have like a scope, we can understand what exactly we're paying for, because this is in two parts. So I like the first part. I think we all like the first part.
I agree with the first part.
Joanna wants to say something.
It's in there, everything's there. Exactly. They're not listening.
A little bit, sorry.
Okay.
Because it's already in this contract, we need to pull it and then redo the contract.
Thank you.
Again, I just want to make, I was right. Okay, so motion to pull the item by trustee Zulueta, seconded by,
I did not motion to pull this item.
I'll motion to pull it. Motion to pull 4.2 and bring it back to the next board agenda.
I second. Roll call vote.
President Angeline Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Danair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
No.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-1 with 1 absent. Clerk Cologne. Thank you.
I would like to, motion, item 4.3, discussion of establishment and appointment of trustees to an SUSD Board President Task Force Subcommittee. I would like to motion to go ahead and pull that as well for the next next agenda.
I'll second Stevens.
Yeah, because you're missing one word.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
President Angel Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
No.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
No.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
No.
The tie vote. means-
Motion fails. 3-3 with one absent.
So discussion? So now what, Doug?
We shall.
It's a discussion item. It was not pulled, so so it's appropriate, President Flores, to ask for discussion. It is a discussion item.
Okay, moving on
Yes.
to item 4.4.
Want to ask a question? What is this? Because this is you all's item. So board leadership, could you tell us what this is?
Sure, I'll go. So it is to establish a president task force to make sure that there's collaboration and conversation amongst parents, staff, and community.
And can you tell us like a little bit about like what those duties will look like? Like what will that task force, like how will they achieve that goal?
Process trustee Flores.
So it would be a discussion on what is happening in whatever department, whoever would like to be a part of the committee. A communication so that conversations can be taken in public.
And then I just want to ask, like, is it gonna do any of the same things that some of our other subcommittees might like talk about? So the same topics, the same understandings, just for me, and I'm not speaking for them, but when I see us have meetings till like 11 o'clock at night, and then the next day we got committee meetings, and like what I'm looking at is like there's almost a committee meeting every day of the week now. Like our staff is getting off really late and they're coming in really early to do the work. And like I said, I'm not speaking for them because they're not telling me this. I'm just observing this. And I think we may be draining them a little bit with some of these excessive subcommittees. Just my opinion. I'm not, saying anything else, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, so I would say that you're extremely incorrect. Most of our committees, we don't have a lot of duplication of staff. Those meetings are really about creating.
Point of order, I didn't say anything about duplication of staff.
I'm answering the question. Sorry, that wasn't your statement. That's my
I
statement.
was just saying that had nothing to do with what I was saying.
We let you speak, let
Yeah,
us.
I am talking about the process. So I stated that there is usually not a duplication of staff on the subcommittees. So that is because I'm on several subcommittees myself. Those meetings are really about the community having transparency, being able to get questions answered. They're able to look at policies and budgets. So it is a place where we have communication and collaboration, not just with the board, but with staff, with community, and with parents. So there's a lot of great work happening with the subcommittees, and it's work that the community wants. So the meetings are going great. We haven't had any complaints or concerns coming from parents, staff, our community members, and if there are, the subcommittees are
point of
quick
order,
to raise it.
I'm not
Okay.
disputing any of that. I'm just asking, like, how does this task force differ? Because we got quite a few subcommittees.
Correct. You made a statement and I responded to your statement because I am on several committees.
I appreciate that. I don't know what
Discussion
that has
order?
I don't know what that has to
Call
do with.
discussion to order.
the item. I mean, you can't call the
Yes, I
discussion
can.
by yourself,
Yes, I can.
President. You can
Yes.
motion.
You've done it all the time.
You can make a
You
motion.
used to do it all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Attorney, please, your advice.
the public will be aided by an orderly discussion by the board.
I have the right to call for discussion.
I understood you asked that the discussion be called to
Yes.
order.
Yes.
And I'm reinforcing that. An orderly discussion with one person speaking at a time best assists the public in observing the conduct of the board.
And I'd like to just ask
Thank
for a
you.
point of clarification. Can we end a discussion when others continue to want to have the discussion without having a motion to end the discussion?
It depends on the circumstances.
Okay.
And as I understood it, the trustee Zulueta and trustee Stevens were participating in a discussion. I didn't hear that other people desired to say anything further. It
Oh.
would be appropriate to ask that, but at some point, yeah, it's appropriate to call the discussion to an end. This is not an action item.
Mhm.
It's just a discussion only item, so there is no action to be taken.
What could
So
you
I would,
answer just
I'm sure the
directly?
board president could request any other trustees if they have any comments
Uh-huh.
to make on this item, to make them and move on in an orderly fashion
But
to the
not to
next
direct
agenda
us
item.
that the discussion's over if we're still discussing, correct?
Yeah, but trustee Zulueta, it depends upon the situation.
Okay, and so I just want I want to make it clear, we weren't done with the discussion. There were still things left, and I will stop after this, but I just think it's convenient, your answer. It didn't seem like you told us one way or another, and so it doesn't really help for us to move forward, but thank you.
I would encourage the president to request of the trustees in order without speaking over each other. If they wish to participate in discussion of agenda item 4.3, is there anything else to be said on agenda item 4.3?
That was a lot clearer. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Would like to maintain order of this board meeting. It already seems to be going out of order and chaotic. A lot of inflammatory comments and incorrect information that is being said. So can we respectfully do our due duty and remain on topic and not have any personal attacks so that we can continue moving forward? We have
Can I
people
have a
here who
microphone?
showed up early in the morning to conduct business, and I would like to maintain that. So Doug, as board president, I have the
Vice President,
authority
can I
to
have a
go
microphone?
ahead and call this discussion to end, and I would like to move on to the next
No, she's not
item.
me.
So we will now move on to item 4.4. Discussion of live stream for all governing board SUSD standing subcommittees. Need a motion for discussion?
I motion.
I'll second. Discussion regarding live streaming for subcommittees. So
Can I have the microphone?
I put this on the agenda. I have been getting a lot of feedback from people asking if we can live stream the committees, the subcommittees. We understand that it is costly effective, but I wanted to put it on the agenda so that we can discuss it publicly and that we can give an answer to the public as to whether we can or cannot live stream our subcommittees. Do we have anybody here on staff who can speak of that?
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Jaime, Technology Manager.
So there's been some questions from community asking to live stream our subcommittee meetings. And we do have quite a bit of subcommittees. So I understand the cost, but I wanted to have this discussion in public so that this way everybody can understand the reasoning on why we can't or cannot live stream our subcommittees. Do you have any answers for that?
Technology wise, it is possible. If we were to live stream it, I would highly recommend it would be here. We have all the resources here. We do have staff, but for example, today we started at 7 this morning, and it's up to the employees whether they choose to work overtime or not. That's a dilemma that I'm having right now.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I do want to state that we do have a grievance already that has been filed regarding the same issue with the AV techs and also the IT folks, IS, regarding the work, and employees are being overwhelmed with the request of having to do the live streaming here already and having to be here long hours. And they are part of the CSCA 821 bargaining unit. So that has been, it's kind of an issue. We're still trying to resolve that grievance and we don't know where that's going to take us. So, so wherever we end up with that, then we'll be able to tell you, because again, we cannot force them to work, which means then the fallback is on the manager.
Yeah.
And so the manager will have to be manning his department in addition to manning whatever other things are going on.
How many staff does it require to hold back and do the live streaming?
I prefer 3.
3?
Yeah.
And how many staff do we have on?
We have potentially 19 staff that can assist. The network support technicians are the ones that I request, and also at times the system admin, Eddie. I also request for them to work overtime. As stated, they do have the right to refuse. Yeah. So if nobody chooses to work, basically I'm obligated to be here. And
Okay.
I arrange my schedule around the meetings, my personal schedule.
Got it.
Yeah,
Same here.
Thank you.
Yeah. absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted to be fair and have that conversation. So now the community and the public has heard the conversation and we got the answers from the questions. Moving on to item 4.5. Discussion to conduct SUSD listening tour sessions with students starting at Merlot, Chavez, Stagg, Jane Frederick, Edison, Health, Careers, Franklin, Weber, Stockton High, Stockton Early College Academy, and I know I'm forgetting the rest, some of the other high schools on this list.
Can I speak first?
But yeah, so that's what this is, and motion for discussion.
I'll second that. Can I speak?
Go ahead.
I think it's really important, and I know Gina Hall's here, so I think maybe this is something that we talk to USA and all of our principals about going through the summer so that we can put together an appropriate schedule. And then also I see our president of STAs here, and I think, or our acting president, I think it would be appropriate for him also to have input on that schedule over the summer so that we're making sure that that we're just not interrupting their days, that, that they have the appropriate time to set up. Also just hearing, from Jaime, I think it might be important to make sure that if we're going to have to go to different schools and host these listening sessions, that our teams have the ability to know ahead of time where and when. Same thing with our police officers, our nurses. I think it requires quite a bit to put together a production like what you all are mentioning. And I think it might be appropriate, if we're going to do it right, do it well, and make sure that it can be as big as, we need for people to come in and participate. And so I would, really just appreciate kind of seeing a full plan and getting all these approvals from our union leaders, moving forward. And I appreciate this discussion item being here.
So I want to go ahead and reiterate that. I have already been talking to community. There have been some agencies out there who want to come in and support our district with the listening sessions. I've already sat down with Marcus Omlin, and the idea is to include all school site principals. The idea is to also bring in all of our police, our SUSD, PD, our emergency, our county, our electeds. And we don't want to make this just a come in, listen, let's talk, and then we go away. We want to make this a genuine, holistic day event where each school site is given the proper programs and resources available to our students and our staff who have been affected by many of the safety concerns that we have had this year. And so there's more discussion to be had. This is our first step into bringing it on the agenda to make it to where this can actually be an action item. It's not going to just, again, a come in one-stop shop. We're going to hear you bring up your trauma. This is going to be during the conversation I had with Marcus, is we're going to, they called healing circles. So let's include some healing circles. Let's include a panel discussion, and then let's do workshops with our students. So this way we actually hear from our students on how they're feeling and what programs and resources that they need at the end of the day. But again, yes, Mr. Zulueta, you are correct. These are conversations that we should be having with our admins at our school sites so that they have a voice into how to address their school site students and staff's needs. And this is just our first step. So that's the intent of this. We have a lot of students and staff who are hurting. We have a lot of trauma that is happening. So this is a step to address and start the conversation so that this can happen. And we're not just talking about it behind the scenes and in offices with our admin, that we are actually putting it in public as a promise to our community that we're going to address this.
Microphone.
Yes, you may.
About this item, we need to be very careful. I received few phone calls of principals who are letting me know that people want to cut corners and get into our district and get against of our children. I'm gonna tell you something. The administration and the principals need to be very, and the teachers, because they know better and they got credentials and they're professionals. And that's all I'm gonna say. Be very careful, because last time when we have a person saying and speaking it here, if you don't let us in, we can come in a different way. I don't like that kind of stuff. We don't need this. We are been enough pain and suffering. We gotta move on, and we need to be productive and positive for our cultures. Thank you.
I really love this idea of, giving voice to the students. I'd also really would love to see the student board representative be very much a part of this process. I know that they are very connected with the ASBs in each high school. So I just really hope to see that they're mostly at the center of leading this as well.
Microphone?
Yes, you may.
Thank you this time. Okay, so I just want to share a little bit from what I had yesterday visiting Franklin High. So this is, for me, this is something that it's kind of nice, really good for the students if we can see it that way. But to be honest, I had a conversation with Pedro Heredia yesterday. He's from the Wellness Center, one of those positions that we want to read up already. So during this conversation with him and a parent, he told us that it's really, really hard for the students to open to him and to open to people who been inside of the school already for many, many years. So I just wanted to know how this gonna help the students. They gonna be open to strangers? Or how the purpose? Because yeah, I know the purpose is to help the students with the trauma. But there are students, they not going to open to strangers from the outside when they have those services inside of the school. So that's all what I want to say. Thank you.
Okay, call for discussion to end. Thank you. Moving on to item 5.1. Approval to purchase book bundles for all pre-K through 8th grade students for summer reading from teacher created materials. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a
Second Stevens.
Call for discussion?
Is Ms. Yulin, did you want to come up and speak on this particular book bundle?
So we had book bundles that were sent out to our families last year, and this is a continuation of that program. Myself and my staff met with TCM to really talk about exactly what was going into each of these book bundles by grade level to ensure that they were appropriate. So our primary grade levels are getting trade books, they're getting books that help them with phonics, and every grade level is getting a workbook that is to prepare them kind of for the next grade level, to give them a preview of what's happening in the next grade level. Our older grade levels are getting novel books, chapter books, and there's parent tips in the workbook. So I think it's a really great opportunity for our kids in addressing what happens in the summer slide. We want to get books in kids' hands, and we all know that increasing the number of books in the home increases literacy across the board.
And can you tell me, I'm sorry, are we open for discussion? Sorry, Madam President. Are the books culturally relevant for our kids as well?
They are. TCM provides culturally relevant books. They partner with publishers, and they reach out and search out more culturally relevant books.
Is there a follow-up with the families to like see, are they being utilized? Or I think that was one of our concerns. Happy that they're getting books, right? I have a library at home. But are they using them? Is there like feedback? Is there like rewards for the kids if they come back and say that it's for the summer?
It's
So
for the summer, yeah. So I think there's some individual school sites that have done rewards for reading them. There isn't a district-wide push on that. As far as the feedback, we know that it's always really positive when they receive the bundles. Again, individual school sites receive that feedback. I know as principal last year, when we sent out the book bundles and in talking to parents, they were really appreciative. So it's more anecdotal rather than a formal feedback process, but we can certainly put together a survey for, the fall to see how many people appreciated or used the books. And we can certainly do that. But again, the research shows even if they're not utilized, simply having the books in the home does increase literacy, which I know is crazy to hear that, but there's over 3 decades of research that proves that out.
awesome. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, can I?
Yes, you may.
I have no question. I just had to say thank you to you and your department. And yeah, it's really good to have books at home because I've been witness from my kids. Even if they not read those books, they just see the pictures, and that means a lot to them. And also, if you guys go into the website, there is hundreds kids online. I mean, making line on the last event at RFC department. Just making a line to make a book. So that means it's really good to have books for students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Microphone?
Yulin.
Thank you.
Yes, you may.
I would like to thank you for coming. It's very early. Thank you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Hey, moving on. Oh, roll call vote.
President Angel Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez.
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with 1 absent.
Moving on to item 5.2, approval of agreement to furnish consultant services with Lego Education for enrichment learning curriculum and materials for students in expanded learning opportunities program known as ELOP Access. Can I get a motion? All motion. Can I get a second? Seconded by Donald Donaire. Trustee Donaire. Discussion? No discussion. Roll call vote, please.
President Angel Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with 1 absent.
Thank you. Moving on to item 5.3, approval of an agreement to furnish consultant services with Lexia Learning Systems LLC to provide language essentials for teachers of reading and spelling, letters, professional development for K-5 teachers, ECE teachers, and administrators and curriculum specialists. Can I get a motion?
A motion.
Can I get a second? I'll second. Discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote?
President Angeline Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Okay, we've already covered items under 6.
We missing 5.4.
Oh, 5.4. Approval of adoption and purchase of world language curriculum for Spanish and French. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion.
Can I get
Second.
it? Call for discussion?
Yes.
Yes, you may go ahead. Take the floor.
You don't have to come to the podium. I just wanted to say thank you again for always have those our students on mind. Thank you so much.
Roll call vote?
President Angeline Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Okay, now we're gonna go to item 7.1. Approve and ratify the purchase of new HVAC units for Sigler for the Augment Kitchen HVAC at 17 sites. Can I get a motion? Yeah. 7.1, can I get a motion to approve and ratify the purchase of new HVAC units from Sigler for the Augment Kitchen
Motion. Sorry, motion Stevens.
Second.
discussion?
I was gonna say, I didn't know we needed new HVACs. That's really awesome to hear that we're getting those. Thank you.
Roll call vote, please.
President Angeline Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Cologne absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Item 7.2, approval of the contract with Man for the actual analysis of the risk management workers' compensation and liability program. Can I get a motion?
Motion Stevens.
Second.
Discussion? No discussion, roll call vote?
President Angeline Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Cologne absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
trustee Cecilia Mendez.
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Moving on to 7.3, approval of the J13A school closure waiver correction for the fiscal year 22-23. Can I get a motion?
Motion Stevens.
Second.
Discussion? No discussion, roll call vote, please?
President Angeline Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Moving on to item 7.4, approval of amendment number 2 to the agreement for architectural services with Derivi Castellanos Architects for the Arthur Coleman Jr. Admin Complex renovation project. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call vote?
Sorry,
Oh,
can
sorry.
we talk about the additional 36,000, Ms. Morris?
This one, can we actually pull because the name's not correct on the contract? It has Thomas and it should be Thomas on there. So can I put
I-
this for next time?
I was gonna say, I'll pull my motion and motion to pull it. That's fine. Amend my motion.
I second.
Okay, roll call vote to pull the item?
President Angela Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Item 7.5, approval of amendment number 1 to the professional design services agreement between Stockton Unified School District and Community Architecture, Inc. for the Augment Kitchen HVAC at 17 Sites project.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote?
President Angela Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Item 7.6, approval of change order number 003 and amendment number 4 to the lease back contract with S+B James Construction, California, Inc. for the Arthur Coleman Jr. Administration renovation project.
I'm gonna make a motion to pull this one as well.
I will second.
I received an email Wednesday from a outside group. They're just wanting to discuss this, so I'm not comfortable with having this go through right now.
Thank you, Joanne.
Okay, roll call vote to pull the item, please.
President Angela Ann Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez.
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 with one absent.
Item 7.7, vendor payment report for the month of April 2023. Can I get a motion?
Motion Stevens.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call vote?
President Angela Ann Flores,
No.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 with one no vote by Trustee Zulueta and one absent.
The no vote was by
I'm
trustee
sorry,
Flores.
I'm sorry, my apologies.
Thank you,
President
Mr.
Flores was a vote no.
Thank you, Mr. Duck, for the correction.
Item 7.8, approval of certification, correction, action, audit findings and recommendations for 2021 and 2022. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I will second.
Discussion?
Do you want to present on this, Ms. Morris?
Willie's here to present.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
So we've had the opportunity to work with our audit department and our auditors, and they presented all the findings. We've had a chance to work with our business services team and was able then to look at all the findings and provide the responses for these items. We've had the opportunity also to provide a draft to our county office for them to review. They provided some of the feedback that you see here presented to you today. A lot of those items we have already addressed, some of the items, including the reconciliation pieces. We have a process for those. We are currently working on that process, and we have also attached some of the samples for you to see. And we also provided those to our county office. There's a few other items that relate to teacher salary. Teacher salaries is also in another item that's on the board this morning. And also we have addressed that one. You'll see the documentation there. We have worked to with various departments also to talk about procedures. That's another item that was there for procurement, purchasing. We also provided a manual that we have been working on also with additional information of the presentations that we've had. We've had 2 or 3 presentations on with different parts of our business services groups to go through the procedures, and so that we have a better understanding of what the bidding process looks like, what the purchasing policy is. And so we have also included those documents on there. At this point, we are currently working with our county office still to address some of their questions. And, at this point, we have, I believe, responses to those, but we'll continue to work on the procedures for this.
Have you guys heard any responses back from the county regarding the responses and since our last conversation with them?
Yes, I talked to our county office this week, and they let me know that they're still reviewing. We may need to provide additional documents to them as we progress through these findings, because they have to also provide this whole packet and responses to our state. They may go through and also ask us to provide additional support for a couple of the items. I don't have the listing for those items, but I'm sure that probably within the next week, we'll have more of those requests.
Do they still plan on supporting us, or are they pulling their support?
No, they still are supporting us. So what we do here is we give them a list of corrective items, and then they monitor us to make sure that we're doing it. We also need to do like monthly weight checkups and see to make sure that we're aiming towards those goals.
Yes.
So do we want to talk about the 55%? Because I know that was brought up yesterday or last board meeting. There was a lot of the board comments that we were talking about. So Peter Fagadio, the one from SJCOA, reached out to us because this has been happening for a couple of years. And one of the reasons is the way it's not something by accident. It's something because of the way the LCAP is written. There are certain positions that are written in there as S&C. We can't include it as the calculation. That's what's bringing us down to 55. So we do need to look at those items and think about putting it on base to make sure that we can include it into that calculation. It's something that's been going on for a couple of years, and it's something that we do need to look at.
Yes.
Any other questions? Yes, you may.
Yeah, I would like to thank you. I know you're working hard. I know already that, and I'm very proud that you guys are picking up everything and going through the process. Thank you.
Thank you.
My microphone is up. Thank you. I really, really want to thank you to all of you guys for all what you guys doing right now. This is going to help our district and our students in the community to understand what's going on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Willie.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
President Angel Ann Flores,
Abstain.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Clerk Colon is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 with 1 abstention from President Flores and 1 absent.
Moving on to item 7.9. Approval to certify the application for exemption from the required expenditures for classroom salaries to Ed Code 41372. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I'll second. Discussion? Do you want to just give a brief summary?
So this is the way, because we're not meeting the 55, this is to make sure that we don't have our apportionment pulled and held back, and we don't have to pay that additional 5 million. waiver on that.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, roll call vote, please.
President Angeline Flores,
Yes.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Abstain.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 with 1 abstention and 1 absent.
And then before we move on to 8.1, I just want to say thank you to Willie, Tony, and Sharon for our policy committee. We are looking into the procurement process. So, and we're building it with community. So we are building trust that way. So Sharon was with it. So I just want to give her your credit on where you were doing, because you came in with stuff to work on. So thank you. Moving on to 8.1, student expulsions. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the expulsions.
Second.
Discussion? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, roll call vote.
President Angeline Flores,
Abstain.
Vice President Kenita Stevens,
Yes.
Clerk Cologne is absent. Trustee Donald Nair,
Abstain.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Wow, I'm in a hard position right now. Because I'm gonna stay.
and Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
We have 3 yes votes and 3 abstentions and 1 absent.
Doc, can I change my vote?
You can.
And yeah, I'm gonna change my vote, but I just want to know, I just wanted the community to know, especially parents and students, that I'm going to change my vote with all the pain on my heart. I changed my vote to yes.
Motion passes with 4 yeses, 2 abstentions from President Flores and Trustee Danair, and 1 absent.
8.2, cancel student expulsions Z-28. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Roll call vote.
President Angeline Flores,
Abstain.
Vice President Kenita Stevens.
Yes.
Trustee Donald Danair,
Yes.
Trustee Cecilia Mendez,
Yes.
Trustee Alicia Rico,
Yes.
Trustee Raymond Zulueta.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 with 1 abstention from President Flores and 1 absent.
Also before we close that.
Thank you all. I'm adjourning the meeting at 8:53.